You said to write about what disturbs me, particularly if it bothers no one else. I'd like to write something from the point of view of the help. I want to interview you.
No maid is ever going to tell you the truth. That's a hell of a risk to take in Jackson, Mississippi.
Courage isn't just about being brave. It's about overcoming fear and daring to do what is right for your fellow man.
Racial tensions collide with mainstream Hollywood in our next review. Hello there, everybody. I'm movie critic Nick Iacobucci, as always, for RealScreenReviews.com. Happily joined by my returning critic, Debbie D'Angelo, the lovely Debbie D'Angelo. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And our next review is The Help. It's based on the national bestseller, and it opened in wide release on Wednesday, August 10th, 2011, and it stars one of my favorite new actresses, Emma Stone, one of my favorite actresses of all time, Viola Davis, and one of my new favorite actresses, Octavia Spencer. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to my guest critic to tell us a little bit about The Help.
Well, I think you could probably summarize it by saying that this is a movie about the plight of black domestic help in 1960s Mississippi.
Correct.
And Emma Stone's character kind of defies the roles of women at the time, and she goes to college, returns to her hometown as a journalist, and decides that she wants to write a novel about what it's like to be the help, from the help's point of view.
Now, I usually try and guess whether Debbie or not liked the movie, and the last time we reviewed a movie, I said it wasn't whether or not she liked it, I figured how bad it was. That was bad teacher. This time I'm going to say the opposite. It's a matter of how much you liked it.
Absolutely. I think this is the best movie I've seen since The King's Speech.
Yes, this is a fantastic film. Go ahead.
On every level. I love the performances. I enjoyed the characters, even if they were characters that you disliked. You know, they really did a great job of portraying them.
Absolutely.
It tackled a lot of different issues, discriminatory issues, not just racism. I also found it interesting to look at the role of women overall, the gender role.
Absolutely. The movie really felt authentic. You really felt the 1960s. You really felt this racial tension. The studio, this is being recorded after opening weekend of this movie, and the studio was shocked that it opened up at 35 million. It was targeted to open up at like 20 million. And I say, you made a meaningful, touching movie that relates to almost anyone that can go see this, and you're shocked that it opened twice as good as you thought. This is a fantastic movie, and I would tell you that I think that the Oscar race starts here with Viola Davis, with Emma Stone, and especially with Octavia Spencer. Now, you always talk about how actors and actresses can convey emotion with their facial expressions. This lady walks into the room and the whole theater starts laughing. She walks into the room and the whole theater shuts up. This lady commands attention with her facial emotions and her facial expressions, and what a treat Minnie was, and her chocolate pie, I might say.
Oh.
We don't want to give anything away, but...
Yeah. Well, I really think that they convey the oppression of the time very well. It's almost palpable, the oppression of the black community, the oppression of women. You don't realize that that's really not that long ago.
No, it isn't.
And a lot of discrimination and racism still occurs, and it actually made me embarrassed to be sitting there as a white woman thinking, I can't believe it.
Well, you can also look at the good end, and we've come a long way since then.
Now we got a long way to go, too.
That's true, that's true. But I will say, another aspect that I loved about this movie is you have almost all female characters, if not all female characters, that rule the screen and show that there are strong female characters out there. There are strong female personas that can be brought to life. And there's almost 2 or 3 heroines in this film. But something that you touched base with just a moment ago, you can't have great heroines or heroes in a story without a great villain, and tip your hat to Bryce Dallas Howard, who is Ron Howard's daughter, which she couldn't have broken more out of his shadow with this performance, to stand on her own as an actress in Hollywood. She is one of the most hateful people I have seen since, I want to say, Gary Oldman in The Contender, where you don't even need a hatchet or a gun or bullets or anything. You can just be hateful, and she can just, brings that.
As you watch this movie, did you wonder just what these wealthy white women did all day? Because they had help that raised their children, cleaned their houses, made their meals, ran their errands, they did everything.
Yeah.
And I thought, they must have been so bored. What did they do?
They dreamt up ways to be hurtful to other people and other communities.
And you know, charity work.
Yeah.
Poor colors.
Yes, that's... Well, I think
they abuse every day of their lives.
I can't do anything but commend this movie. I think that it tackles head-on issues and themes that most movies just completely shy away from, if at all possible, and it does it to absolute perfection.
And how about Emma Stone?
Fantastic.
I mean, she had absolutely no interest in finding a man and settling down and getting married and having children. And that seemed to be, I mean, that was overwhelming to
Right.
me. I was almost suffocated by
Yes.
all the women, the older women and the younger women. And
Just
that's
marry
all they
and start
wanted.
having
That was
children.
their pursuit.
Yep.
And you know, you think about it, that's basically what women had, and birth control was just coming in. You know, yeah, I'm thinking of all these
And
other
the
issues
lesbian
going.
talk was really funny. The lesbian talk of the time from the mom to the daughter was extremely funny.
And just how they integrated all that. You think, wow, that's right, all that stuff did happen.
And Emma Stone, I will say, after last year, Easy A, which I thought was one of the best films of the year, a couple weeks ago, Crazy Stupid Love, which I think is one of the best films of the year, and now this film, which I think is one of the best films of the year. This girl just knows how to pick them. And recent Tony Award-winning actress Viola Davis, who shows you why she's a Tony Award-winning actress. She was the main character in this, in Abilene. She was just
What about Sissy Spacek?
Oh, she was fantastic. Everybody in this movie was. I think, you know, you could just say that it's perfect, it's great, it's 4 stars, it's a must-see. But in my opinion, there's only so many ways to say that this movie's absolutely perfect, and I think it's something for everyone.
And it's not a chick flick. There's
No,
a misconception
absolutely
out
not.
there that
No.
it's a chick flick.
No,
It's
this is for
My
everyone.
husband gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, this is a fantastic film. So what are you giving? Are you giving it 4 stars?
Yeah.
I've already said I'm giving it 4 stars. So I like I said,
Go
once
see
again,
it.
I say go out of your way and make sure that you go see The Help. And I agree. I think it's probably one of the finest films I've seen since The King's Speech.
And
Fantastic
a
way
little
to put
history
it.
lesson too. I think good for kids.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here. I think this is probably one of the better reviews that we've done, and I'm glad that you had your thoughts and opinions on this one, because this is
You're
right
never
up,
glad of my
right,
thoughts
right
and
up,
opinions.
right. Well,
You
we're right
never
on.
wanna hear my
Well,
thoughts
we're
and
right on with this one. So when she's right on with me, her thoughts and opinions are welcomed on the
They
show.
matter.
Well, we're gonna end it. We're gonna say, remember, people, we're not always right, but only when it comes to the movies. And thank you very much for your attention.
You tell Aileen.
Do I have plans for her?
You a godless woman. We gonna done it now.